Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, World of Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the latest video posted by Wargaming Official, which is going to be showcasing the next researchable Tier 10 vehicle being added into the game. I'm going to be honest, I did not expect this French medium to be the next researchable tank, as it looked like something that would be a premium slash collector. However, it is actually a researchable tank, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing not only what the vehicle looks like, the statistics of what we can expect, but as well my personal views, thoughts, and feelings on this coming into the game. So let's play the video and see just exactly what we are working with here. The tank is called the Project Morat. And you're going to see it as an absolutely funky looking vehicle. Here it is. It's almost like an AE Phase 1 mixed with, I don't even know. I mean, it's just a big old box. It's like a German style AE Phase 1. The turret's almost got like a leopard style going for it. The tank is really goofy looking, but I also think it looks pretty dang cool. We can see that it's got a very, very steep upper plate, a very boxy turret with what appears to be a pretty strong looking gun mantlet. We can get a good look here. Very strong looking mantlet, super steep angled upper plate, but also at the same time a very, very large hull and absolutely massive lower plate. Armor-wise, it's a French tank, so at the end of the day, we can't really imagine that it's going to have too much armor, and especially for how large this vehicle is, and it being a medium, I can't really say I expect all too much. But here's the interesting part about this vehicle. Wargaming also posted a little bit of a teaser when it comes to the text, and they said, "This is the next researchable Tier 10 tank. We will also be testing it this summer, and you'll be able to play it in Season 5. Okay, so this will be quite a while away. It will be the next season, so yeah, that's quite a bit away. The Morat will be fast with a 2-shell auto-loading gun, nice alpha damage, and emergency track mechanics." So this little post here actually gave us a lot of information on the vehicle and what we can expect. For any of you that don't know what the reserve shell track mechanic is, we can make our way to a vehicle like the Yo or the Concept 1B. Taking a look at the stats, we can see there's a mechanics tab. The way the emergency tracks work is your tank is allowed to reverse even when you are tracked at whatever the speed they're going to give it is. For the Concept 1B, the M6 Yo, and all of the heavies in the game, it is 7 kilometers per hour. However, I'm not sure if Wargaming is going to keep it at 7 for the Project Morat, or if they are going to change that. Now, the part that I found rather interesting about the vehicle is that it is going to be a 2-shot French autoloading medium. And we already have a 2-shot French autoloading medium in the game, known as the Bourrasque. This Tier 8 French autoloader is easily one of the best and, my opinion, most overpowered tanks in Tier 8. It is still the highest performing medium in the game, and it's pretty simple to understand why. Not only is it mobile, not only does it have a decent chunk of HP for the tier it's sitting at, but it is able to deal 640 damage in a brief 2 seconds, and then back in the cover, reload, and do it all again. And obviously that is really dangerous, and as we read, it is going to feature a 2-shell autoloader when it gets released. So my guess is that it is going to have about 390 damage per shot, and it is going to be up in Tier 10. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting an 800 damage clip with about a 2.5 second intro clip, and then it's going to dip reload and do it all again. I have no clue what the DPM is going to look like. The only real way to get an idea of the stats this vehicle has. So here's the interesting part. The Project Morat does not exist on World of Tanks PC at all. It's not even in the game. And on console, it is a premium tank. So it's rather interesting to see that for World of Tanks Blitz, this is being explored as a new researchable tree. I'm actually personally very excited. I am always a bit excited when Wargaming kind of takes their own route for Blitz, and instead of copying lines that already exist, they add their own new, unique lines. Now, to be fair, the last time Wargaming did this was when they added the T92E1, which is still considered an overpowered tank, even though it's been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed so many times over the years. So yeah, it's a little bit sussler when Wargaming does work on their own vehicles, but if they balance it properly, I think we won't have to worry, and I am quite excited to see what we actually have here. So, taking a look at the stats that this vehicle has on console, we can see it is a 3-shell autoloader, and it features a 2.5 second intro clip. So we can expect something similar for Blitz. Instead of a 3-shell, a 2-shell autoloader with a 2 to 2.5 second intro clip. Now, what I do find interesting is that it has a 105mm on the console. So it is possible that this tank will have a 105 in Blitz with a 350 to 60 damage per shot dump. But again, Wargaming did list themselves with a high alpha damage, or nice alpha damage. So personally, I'm expecting to be sitting at around 400 damage per shot, just like the console one, with an 800 damage burst in total. That would be my personal assumption. The turret armor is not very good, though. Look at that, only 150mm thick, 75 on the sides, and 10 on the rear of the turret. Yeah, that's pretty dang bad. I cannot expect this vehicle at all to have armor. Like, sure, it looks like it does, but let's be honest, it just doesn't seem like that's the case. And I could be wrong. That mantlet could be really, really thick. And if it is, that'll be cool. But I don't know. Personally, I don't feel like this tank is going to have much armor at all. Gun depression. Now, here's the interesting part. On console, it has 12 degrees of gun depression. I have a feeling that it's not going to have that much in Blitz, but I can expect at least 8 to 10 degrees, which is going to make this a very flexible vehicle, quite a bit more than the Bourrasque, which only has 6-ish degrees of gun depression. So this is actually going to be really, really nice. The only other things I thought I would mention about this vehicle is the top speed. It has a top speed of 60, it reverses at 21, so it's a fairly fast vehicle. Overall, this is kind of a base overview of the Morat and kind of what we can see it looking like when it does come into Blitz. It seems definitely most lately that Wargaming has been working on a lot of double-shot mechanic vehicles. The Rinocerante was just released into the game. This features a double-shot auto-reloader, and that's obviously the case for the Tier 9 and Tier 8 on the line as well, which is the Progetto 54 and Progetto 56. We have the Bisonte, we have the Bourrasque, we have the M6Yo, but even just as of testing right now, there's also the MBTB, which is a Tier 9 American Collector Medium, which is also featuring a double-shot auto-reloading gun. So yeah, there are quite a few double-shot tanks that are currently in the game. Technically, you could even count the Minotauro because that vehicle features a reserve shell, so really you're only using it on double shot. I personally think double shot tanks are super dangerous because of the fact, as I said in the past, usually a vehicle, think of the Rhino for example. This tank can shoot both of its shells, dealing 840 damage, and then reload. And the crazy part is, even dumping the clip, you have 2,600 DPM. So you get to dump your clip, you gain DPM, and at the same time you deal a lot of damage. And autoloaders usually have to wait a long time to get their shells back. But for a vehicle like the Bourrasque, you're only waiting a little bit of time, and with the mobility you feature, you reposition, you make your way into cover, and you do it all again. The Bourrasque is easily one of the strongest Tier 8s currently in the game, and there's no real doubt in my mind why. I mean, the vehicle just features such good mobility, such a dangerous gun. When this vehicle was first released into the game, for some reason there were people disappointed that it wasn't like the PC one, and that just didn't make sense to me at all, because there's a lot of vehicles on PC that if they were brought into the way they are in that game to Blitz, I mean, just think of the 268 version 4 on PC. If that tank was in the Blitz form, it would be the most overpowered tank, by far not even close. You can't just copy tanks and paste them in the Blitz. It's not how they work. And that is definitely the case for the Bourrasque, and I think we'll have to see how that is in the case of the Morat. I think it's going to be a really, really interesting vehicle. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, as I always try to keep you guys informed with the most relevant and up-to-date data. The only reason I didn't post this video earlier was because I was asleep just up until an hour ago, and then I saw Wargaming had posted their video, and then I was like, oh, okay, I need to make a video on this. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.